What is up, pimps? What's going on? So, I'm making this little vlog here because that's what all the cool truck drivers do. They make vlogs, you know. There's a lot of guys out there that make vlogs, and they're over-the-road guys, older guys, and, you know, they give you guys a lot of great advice, and, you know, they kind of show you what this job's about, and I just want to give my take on it. That's, you know, that's why I'm doing this. So, I want to help you guys, the young kids that I see, a lot of them are commenting on these guys' YouTube videos. Hey, I'm about to start driving, you know, I'm a young kid, like, you know, what can I expect? What's the best advice that you can give me? And then there's people that, you know, I'm 40 years old and I've never driven a truck, but I think I can do it, and, you know, it sounds like a good way to make money. I got to make money, so, you know, what do I need to know? And, you know, I want to help those people make the right decision, because this isn't the job for everybody. This is not a job, it's a lifestyle, and, you know, you live in this truck. This truck is my home. When I go to my apartment, that's my bachelor pad. That's the way I look at it. This truck is my home. My house is my bachelor pad. So, you know, I spend more time in this truck than I do at the house. So, I just kind of want to help you guys make the right decision, because if you're a family guy, you know, you want to see your kids grow up, you want to, you know, go to their football games, whatever, you know, this isn't for you. You know, you're going to miss a lot. And I can't really say that from experience, because I don't have a wife and kids at home. You know, I'm going to be 21 in a couple weeks, like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, yes. But I'm going to be 21, I'm a young kid, and, you know, I can't really tell you guys from experience. I can just tell you how it was growing up, watching, you know, people in my family be gone all the time, miss all kinds of stuff, but, you know, wishing they could be there and they weren't. So, you know, that's one of the downfalls of trucking, but, you know, I can't really say too much about that because I don't really know from experience. The real reason I'm making these vlogs is I want to help young kids that I see just like me. You know, I've grown up driving trucks. You know, my grandpa would tell me, all right, drive this truck. You get pulled over, wake me up. And you climb back in there and go to sleep, take a nap. And there's a lot of kids out there today that are like, yeah, you know, I'm turning 18, I'm ready to get my CDL, yeah, you know, let's get on this. And that's exactly how I was. But it's a lot harder than a lot of people think. You know, if you know the right people, it's not hard. But if you don't know people, it is hard. And I know both sides of that, because you know, I knew a lot of people when I was a kid. Before my grandpa died. My grandpa died in 2008. Had his own contracts, running feed to the dairies. He used to run cows. I mean, he knew a lot of people, and I kept in touch with a few of those people after he died, but not as many as I wished I would have. So, you know, it was easy because I kind of knew some people to help me out, but then again, I also didn't really know anybody. So, you know, when I went to get my license, I never went to truck driving school or nothing like that. I went to the DMV, took my written tests, and in the state of New Mexico, you got to wait like 2 weeks before you can take your road test. So I went and took my road test, and sorry it's shaky, you guys are on my laptop. But I went and took my road test, passed it, and started driving. And the only reason I was able to even get that far was because my great uncle, one that taught my grandpa how to drive, been driving trucks his whole life. I called him up and said, hey, you know, it's about that time. I'm ready to get behind the wheel of a truck. And he said, well, I knew this day was coming. Everybody's told you not to. And I said, yes, sir. And he was like, all right, well, you know, let me see what I can do. Give me a couple of weeks. I know some people. Like, all right. About a month later, he called me. He's like, hey, this guy wants to hire you. I was like, all right. I was like, when does he need me there? He's like, can you be there Thursday morning at 6 o'clock? I was like, I'll be there. He's like, all right. He's got a little travel trailer you can live in and you can work. Sounds like a plan to me. So took off, went and started working for this company in the oil field that I was working for, hauling water. You know, long hours, very long hours. But this guy, he took me on, and he couldn't get me on his insurance till I was 21. And, you know, he took a gamble on me. That's what it came down to. I drove for them for a couple weeks without my license. You know, they said, you can drive a truck. Yeah, well, let's go for a ride. showed them what I could do. Drove, got my license, and I was never on the company's insurance. I was never ever on their insurance. So if something would have happened, that would have been out of his pocket. But he took a risk on me, which I'm grateful for. And it's a really good thing because, that got me the experience that I needed, and it got me the start that I needed. And it was all because he was willing to take a risk on, what my great uncle had said. And he said, this kid's not stupid, he can get to work. You give him something to do, he'll get it done. But, he's just young. That's his only problem. So I was lucky enough to get started like that. Things didn't work out. And, that company was actually one of the best companies I've ever worked for. My boss over there was the best boss I've ever had. That's for sure. He took care of us. But it was time to go my own way, and we said our goodbyes. Good terms. We never got into fights over anything, nothing like that. So I left with them on good terms. And things just didn't work out, and I started doing this job. And the only reason I got this job was because I was able to sell myself over the phone. And for you young guys that are trying to get into trucking, that are turning 18 and thinking, well, I can get it, I can drive a truck, I'm ready to go to work. Your first problem is going to be getting on that insurance. Nobody's going to want to touch you till you're 21. No company really going to look at you till you've got that experience and you're 21. So I had the experience, I just wasn't 21. Hell to get on insurance. I called this guy up, saw the job offer, and called him up, and I sold myself over the phone. That's going to be your guys' main challenge, is being able to talk about yourself over the phone. When I asked my boss why he hired me, it kind of worked out for both of us because he said he liked the way I talked. Because when I called him on the phone, I said, listen, I'm not dumb. I can do any job you give me. I know how to drive trucks. This is what I grew up doing, and I can do this. I've ran these trailers since I was a little kid. I've done this stuff before. I just don't have any verifiable experience. The only experience I have is in the oil field. He's like, all right, well, if you can run these trailers, I like the way you talk. You sound like you're pretty confident and you know what you're doing. So I'll get you on the insurance. You just come on down here. So started working for them, and things are all right here. I'm gone during the week, home every weekend. Not a bad deal, hauling grain and wood chips and all kinds of stuff. I run a walking floor trailer, which my grandpa did that. He hauled feed and cattle and stuff like that. That was his main contracts, were hauling feed to the different dairies throughout Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. So I told him I could run this trailer, and they stuck me in the truck, said, all right, you're on our insurance, get to work, and no problem. Done this before. So that's going to be your guys' biggest challenges, being able to sell yourself over the phone, talk to people, call company after company after company. That's what I had to do. Just call somebody. Start looking into small companies. Those are going to be your best bets to get on the insurance. Big companies ain't going to touch you. They're not even going to look at you till you're 21. CR England, Conway, Swift, nobody's going to want you till you're 21. So call small companies. This company I work for now, we've got 2 other trucks. We got a total of 3 trucks, and it worked out nicely because I like to be gone during the week. I like to run down the highway. I don't like doing the local stuff. They got 2 older guys that do the local stuff home every night, so it worked out pretty good for both of us there. But call people. The biggest thing is not going to be online applications. If you're a young kid trying to get into this industry, and I know this from experience, is going to be talking to people. If you can't talk to people and you can't reach out to people and say, hey, this is me, this is what I do, give me a chance. If you can't do that over the phone or face to face with somebody, then you're going to have even harder of a time getting into it. It's already hard enough. I don't want to get you guys down, because if you're like me, nothing's going to get you down. I had to fight to get where I'm at now. So when you guys turn 18 and you get your license and everything, just stick your head in there, start fighting for what you want. Just do what you got to do, because that's what I had to do. I had to do what I had to do to get to where I'm at. Not a lot of people can say that, they had to fight to get into truck driving. Most people, it just kind of falls into them, it just kind of falls in their lap like, oh, well, I can make money doing this, and it turns out that they love it. And then, the people like me that knew that this is what they wanted to do, but being so young and so inexperienced, I mean, technically I wasn't inexperienced, it was just I didn't have any verifiable experience. I didn't have any employers that they could call. So, it's a fight. Get in there, fight, do the best you can, and something will come up. Don't get down, because I've been shot down. I still get shot down to this day. I was talking to a driver on the CB last week, and he got on the radio. He's like, I need to get over in that lane, driver. So I got into the other lane and just bring her on in. And I asked him, I was like, you guys make pretty good money running them flatbeds? And he's like, yeah, we make a living off of it. He's like, why, are you looking for something else? I was like, oh, I'm looking around. He's like, well, my terminal's right up here. He's like, if you want to stop, grab a brochure or whatever, you can do that. I was like, all right, I'll follow you. I got some time to kill. Like, I ain't in that big of a hurry. I was just going down the road. So we pulled into this yard. I parked up next to him and, met this guy. A really cool guy, really nice guy. He's like, well, let's go in and talk to my terminal manager. And, went in and talked to them. They're still not going to hire me till I'm 22, 23. That's going to be, most companies ain't going to touch you till you're 23. That's just how it is. So, it was a little bit of a waste of time, but, the guy always told me, hey, when you turn 23, you need a job. Come back here, I'll remember you. I was like, all right. So, just get out there and meet people, start talking to people. You see something that you want to do, like, you see, I'm trying to get started hauling hoppers. That's what I want to do now. I've been running these walk-in floors, hauling grain. I mean, a hopper, pretty much the same thing. A little less complicated, but, not any harder. So every time I pass a hopper, I get on the radio, and sometimes I'll have it turned on, sometimes I won't. If they don't have it turned on, sometimes I'm able to get the number off the side of the door. I'll give the company a call. A lot of times, it's just the one truck. It's just an owner-operator. I sound like an idiot, but I end up having a conversation with them, oh, well, who should I call? Do you have any tips? And a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, call this guy and, tell him that Jacob told you to call and all this other stuff. So, just get out there and start meeting people, talking to people. Something that, is starting to fade away with phones and technology, texting. People don't get out of the truck and talk to each other at the truck stops anymore, anything like that. But, if you really want to find a job as a young kid, that's going to be your best bet, is just getting out there and talking to people. You get a lot more done talking to people than you will applying online, I guarantee you. I know this from experience. So, that's the first little tip of advice. I'm going to do some, some over-the-road videos well, I was going to say something and I lost it. Just stuff driving down the road, kind of what I do. I mean, there ain't a whole lot to it, but, I'm going to make a couple videos like that. I'm going to make a couple music videos, because I got some ideas for some music videos, which would be pretty sweet. And, I'll do a couple more vlogs like this, just trying to give you guys advice. And, if you guys got any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment or, message me or something, and I'll do my best, give you the advice that I can give you. As far as truck driving schools, I don't know nothing about truck driving schools. Like I said, I never went, so you're on your own on that one. But, I'll do my best to help you guys out, because I know it's hard being a young kid trying to get into this. And for the people that are thinking about getting into this, shoot me a message with your questions. I can probably answer a lot of them. I can give you guys an idea. So, and that's what I want to help. If this isn't for you, it's not for you. And you don't need to waste time and money getting in a truck and realizing this is not for you, because you're going to hate every second of it. You either love this job or you hate this job. There's no middle ground with it. Actually, there is a little bit of middle ground, because all the old truck drivers I've ever talked to said, well, I loved it at first, but now I fucking hate it. So, it's one of those deals. You'll either love it or you hate it. So, shoot me your questions. Hope I can be of help. This is the first vlog that I'm doing. There will be many more to come. Like I said, really going to get up on the music videos, because that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I've got a couple of badass songs picked out that, they just fit with trucking. The song lyrics are about, being out on the road, or, somebody traveling or doing something, and, they just fit with trucking. So, Music videos are going to be what's up. And then I'm going to start working. I'm going to get me a GoPro, and we're going to start doing some actual videos of what my job is and what I do out here. And I'll do a video of this in the inside of this truck, and all kinds of stuff. So that's what you guys got to look forward to. So I appreciate you listening to me for 15 minutes, but there's a little talking for you.